to make sure that we don't have the same problem as last week. There we go. So we've only gone a couple of minutes early. That's okay. Right. Hello. How are we doing? Sorry, I just lost the chat thing on my pad, so I have to restart that. Ah, there we go. Evening. Excellent. That's all working. Hello, Jeremy. Hello, Kubla. Tonight's victim is Warlord H, Age of Chivalry. CHV01H on the Griffin Beast website. I think he's about £5.50, I think. That includes the horse. The miniature's all in one piece. He does come on a slaughter base. You can paint them separately if you want. But we're going to do it all in one go. Because we can. Because we can. Right. Let's get a going. This is our base flesh colour, moonstone skin. Yeah, I thought so. And it comes with the base as well, so hey, can't be bad. We've done our usual Xenophil undercoat. Also, we've done our usual what's it face? Pomace base. So I hope you all had a good week. On a very busy week again. Here at the Crow's Nest. Okay, I think we'll do a horse of the white variety. So we're going to start with Grey Castle. And thin that down with some medium. Keep it nice and thin. thought after 2 weeks of Age of Magic, we better get back into the real world. This is Barded, this horse. I'm sure if you can go to the front rank section of the website, and I think you can select your own horse anyway if you want the one with Barded on, but depends on what era you're doing, doesn't it? I do like the look of this horse. It's that noble, proud stance, isn't it? Yes. So I hope you guys have had a good week. This is the it's reminded me I've plugged my charger into my phone, so I'm going to go wobbly vision for a sec. There we go. Otherwise everything would have gone very dark in the near future. So as you see, I'm just keeping the medium flowing. Paint very thin. Not too worried if it doesn't completely cover. It should do. But don't get all out of shape if it doesn't. Because we're going to do quite a few more layers yet. There we go, just work around. Yeah, trying to think what relevant news I've got. I've just been so busy. Do you know what? I shot home for something to eat and then came back. I've been at home for 15 minutes today. Poor Ship's dog was very confused because he was at home today. So it's like, oh, Daddy's home. Oh, Daddy's gone again. No, he's for you could use him for Baron's War if you wanted to. But this is, I'm going to use him for Saga Age of Chivalry. But he certainly can do both. He's on the warlord base, but I'm not sure the base is on the Baron's War. I think they're pretty standard, I think, aren't they? But this is the this is a Saga Age of Chivalry, but it's basically a front rank miniature. I've noticed on that picture there that he's getting a sword. It looks like he's getting a sword through his face. Oh, no, it's a spear, isn't it? Some sort of pole arm. I remember we'll start playing D&D and looking at all the weapons and thinking, I really do need a glaive. I shall take my glaive down the dungeon. Then you know whether you've got a nasty DM or not. I'm just nipping around areas I nice base layer on this, but again, I'm thinning all the paint out with lots of medium. You can see that's why it's going so matte as we're working. These army paints do love a bit of medium in them. Just gonna swap brushes to one with a knackered point, just to do the mane and the tail. So obviously you got, it's the same with chainmail, isn't it? You need a bit of a rough brush to get in those nooks and crannies. Fairness, I could have done the undercoats with the this brush as well. Save the tip on the good one, but hey. These are very cheap synthetic brushes anyway, so okay. Just making sure that there's some bubbly bits where I've been putting a lot of medium in it. I was just making sure that they're all popped in within the main, because otherwise it pop and you don't get little bits of colour missing. That's not a big deal at this point. We're just trying to keep this first layer nice and thin. And I'm just going round again with a very thin coat. So as Duncan would say, I've got 2 thin coats. Yeah, during the cold weather, guys, layer up. apply some painting and staying warm there. Don't like using somebody else's catchphrase, but in fairness, if you're putting 2 thin coats on, you're putting 2 thin coats on. He's just right. I don't always do it, but evening G-Shocker. After our visit to the Age of Magic for the last 2 weeks, I thought, yes, Age of Chivalry. I know how I'm saying it. Before anyone writes in, there's no prizes for me pronunciating stuff wrong, especially if I'm doing it on purpose. Okay, that's good. So next, we are going to lay down the gunmetal. Gunmetal time, guys. Now, as you know, that was running out last week, so I've put a bit of medium in the bottle just to use it last. So this is a little bit thinned down, and it's acting a little bit like the air paint or the speed paint. I'm using the brush that's had the knackered point on it. Because you shouldn't use your good brushes to do metal, because metallic paint will kill them. Ugh. So always have an older brush or at least a cheaper brush to do that with. Metallics and washes. He's got a fantastic haircut, this guy, and it's a real basin cutting it. Get these little bits of chainmail that are just coming up from underneath his coat. Just been a bit careful there, because obviously I'm using a brush with a wibbly wobbly point on it. I think that's the technical term. Some may say it's fish hook. We've got something like this. There's parts of the miniature you can make up a bit of time on. This is one of them. Is getting this base layer of metal down. So usually, as I said, I would put a bit of medium each time I dip my brush in there, just to keep the metallic flowing into all the nooks and crannies. But in fairness, where I've put it into the pot, it's about right. See, it's run on real nice. I don't think it's quite as thin as the Vallejo Air, but it's getting there. There we go. Get that down nice and early, so it can be drying. Next, what we're going to do, we're going to lay down, because there's not a lot of flesh to worry about, we're going to lay down a little bit of Crusader skin speedy paint as I'll wash over the moonstone flesh. We will come back into that with some more flesh in a minute, but where it's really only his face, that's got the flesh, you know what I mean? We're might as well get it done. Okay, so now what we do is we'll start working on older dobbin here. We start with castle grey, so let's work all the way up through these greys and whites to gargoyle grey. It's one of those things you don't really, there's not, you won't find massive. What we're going to do is, horses are really good to practice on, because when they're sculpted, the sculptors always do good muscle groups. As we see, the muscle groups are always nice and rounded. So we're going to add plenty of medium to our paint and just pick somewhere to start. So let's start on this shoulder. So I'm going to paint all on top of that muscle group. I'm not going to go right in there tight, so I'm going to leave that original grey. So the original grey we've laid down are only going to be right around the edges and in between the muscles. I'm just going to follow the shape of each muscle group with this lighter grey. I'm keeping the paint nice and thin. We're even going to go underneath at this point, because so this is only our second shade. So real tight. Can you see how thin that line is in between? As we come into the leglet, let's keep the medium going into your grey. Nice and thin. So I kind of missed a little bit at the back of the leg, so we just put plenty of this one on. It won't make a massive difference because there's so much work left to do on it anyway. And really, let me stay away, right? Don't go right in tight. Anywhere where there's a cool. Oh, pardon me. Remember, you've got to follow. And as you'll notice from all these muscle groups, is things about nature is there's very few straight lines. So if you're leaving a straight line somewhere, it's going to look odd. So I was leaving one up the middle there, but no, not me. No, not me. Not on my watch. I'm tracing around these muscles, and in fairness, you'll naturally get rounded lines anyway. Sometimes you saw I jump back to the first leg where it dried a bit, and you just want a little bit more somewhere. And you have to eyeball them. There's no written rules about this. If it looks right, it looks right. So again, on this top piece, haunches, is it haunch? Rump? Don't know. You pretty much cover it because that's the lightest part of the horse, because it's the most exposed to the sunlight. Not that it's shiny. Horses aren't shiny. Oh, I suppose black ones are. Some of the brown ones when they're sweaty. But you see, I've left the bottom edge. Yeah. Cheers, Jonathan. Yeah, it's a beautiful horse, isn't it? So again, I'll go into these areas, but not right up close. This is our first step of our shade. We're going about the long way as well. See, what you could do is put that original grey on, fire a really thin grey wash all over it, and then start on your whites. That works. But seeing as he's a warlord, we're putting the extra mileage in. If that's how you want to paint it, like your soldier of the line, because you've got 10 of them to do. Don't paint 10 white horses this way because you drive yourself bonkers. It doesn't take long for it to start building up. Once we've added some more lighter tones, you'll see the effect start happening quite quick. Mm. It is. When I was picking out something to do tonight, I went through the racks and I picked a couple up, and this is a really nice sculpt, and it's a lovely horsey. As we go around all the tack there, don't go in too tight because you want to leave that original grey up against the tack. But you come underneath still with this grey, because this is going to be one of our darkest colours. It's only from the next one we're going to start worrying about not going past halfway point. I do like the way the front rank ordering goes out, so you can kind of customize. They've got the saga packs. This is from the saga packs. You get the pair of them, and you get the right base for saga. But if you go to the front rank section, you can put any rider you like on any horse you like. Let's get the crappier brush again. I'm going to go with the same grey. I'm just going to overbrush there. So I'm looking to leave that initial grey in the very dark areas. Okay. Right, give that a second. So you can see you're starting to get some of the original grey showing through. This brush is really knackered. Right, so next we're going to put a black wash over the armour. So this is a mixture of Known Oil, my medium, and also a bit of black ink in there. Anything really, anything goes in this pot. So the dark tone, then I just put the medium in there. As you can see, it's slightly weaker than Known Oil and the Army Painter one, but because it's got pure black ink in there, when it dries, it really does dull everything off. Nice and thin. And I'm going to go back in with some different metallics anyway. So we're not worried about making the armour look a little bit black. In fact, it does aid our cause. That's the right. Yeah. Just have a quick look around. Make sure there's no massive puddles. If there is, we're just going to wick it away. And then move it to another place where it's still wet. Assembly time. Yeah. Some of my least favourite things in the hobby is putting stuff together. As usual, I want to put this back into focus a moment. There we go. So I'm just getting myself organised. Okay, so we've got the wash in the silver. So let's go to the next layer of our horsey, which is Great Hall Grey. So this is, now we're starting to get to the lighter colours. Back to our nice brush. Now the areas we've already done will stay inside those. We're going to add medium to the water, medium to the paint, and we're just going to stay inside these muscle groups, working a little further away, but we don't want any straight lines. We want to make sure we stay nice and curvy. Ahoy! How's it going, shipmate? So again, stay inside. This is where we can start thinking about not going underneath the horse. I'm still going to go some way around it, but we're not certainly going right underneath like the last coat did. Just highlighting the areas we've already worked. I picked up a model I wanted for some time earlier. It's an Age of Sigmar one. It's the big vulture guy. Is it Gorfrak or whatever his name is? There's an orc warlord on a giant vulture thing. I've got a couple of commissions to get out of the way, and then I can have a fun time paint. Yes, remember we're adding medium to make this nice and thin. Then we're looking for areas that face it up now as well. They're getting a big dollar for this. you can in certain areas, just tap your brush down rather than paint the whole area, just to start building a bit of interest, a bit of texture. Oh, pardon moi. When you're starting to work the highlights, you can jump about a bit. You can sort of see where you need to be. But you can see it'll be hard because it will basically blow out on camera. But hopefully you should see where the wet areas are where I'm working. It all makes sense at the end. Keep that medium going in. It's a bit like when we do the face, you know what I mean? We stick to the same rules really. I'm just looking for areas I've not done. I've not worked this area at the back yet. You probably can't tell on camera because I say with the light and the camera it will definitely blow out, which is another reason I don't usually paint white horses when we're doing a video, because you have to take my word a lot of the time rather than actually being able to see what's going on. And back there where we paint that big blob of the last colour, we just come inside it, so it's like a egg yolk, as it were. Does that make sense? I think so. We'll wash that brush out. Grab our rubbish one. And do my favourite brush again on the tail and the mane. So I'm kind of just using the side of the brush. We always call it overbrush, and I know there's a correct term for it. But it's basically the same as doing a dry brush, but you've got paint in your brush. So you just got to be a bit more careful. Okay. Our next one is worn stone. These are pale olive greys, these ones. So. Grab our nicey brush. Some medium medium in there. I can't stress this enough, keep that medium going in. I'm going to start on this right shoulder again and only go inside the previous one. We do not want now to go into underneath the horse at all. This is purely in your lighter areas now. So looking at all the areas at the back of the ear there, they're going to be exposed the most. Do a little bit on the other ones. It's called fake, is it scale shading, isn't it? Scale shading? So we'll put extra highlights in that actually won't be there because of the scale we work at. Or something like this. A real clever person was once explaining it to me. You have to overemphasize basically on a smaller scale. That's why when you're painting like the real sort of small stiddy stuff, you can get away with, like, we used to paint the old 15 mils. You paint them black and then you'd literally just dot paint onto certain bits of them. Because it will look good. But because of the scale, it works. Fun fact. So we're getting this grey shaded look to your horse without using a wash. As soon as you've used a wash, it's you can get away with it. That's what it's horses for courses, isn't it? Excuse the pun. I'd say if I was doing 10 white horses, I wouldn't do it this way. Unless, of course, I wanted to spend lots of time doing the horses. And okay. We go back to our pants brush. Grab some same colour. Using the edge of our brush, we highlight the tail. But now we don't go all over it, we're just picking certain areas. Because you obviously want the mane that to look different to the main horse. And now, the other thing is, as long as you're careful, you can carry on working these areas, because we're using light paint, they do dry quite quick, but also you can lift them up if you scrub at them with the next layer. So you can do this and carry on working it up. Just be careful. Be careful. Bring that beige. Very light yellowish grey. So this is going to be our, where we turn our horse white, basically. Again, it's the same thing. So we're going to add medium. The medium I'm using, if you've not seen before, it's one I mix up, but there's a little video. If if you look through my videos on how to make it. But it's basically, you can buy it. That's too thick. That would stay right inside those areas. We just want to. When I put that first bit on, there was too much pigment still in my brush. That's because I put the medium in and watered it down, but I didn't wash my brush. I forgot to wash my brush out first. But what I did is I added a bit more medium to my brush and went back in and just moved the white around on the miniature. It's quite important that if you're filling your paint on your palette, always make sure you wash your brush out before you go back in, because obviously if you thinned it out, you have lots of pigment still in your brush. So now I'm just looking to, less is more now. We want to leave that last layer as intact as we can. As you're seeing, I'm just picking at areas, put little lines, a bit more medium in there. Make sure there's not too much paint in my brush. Down the, I was painting like a, follow the shape of the neck, but just want it at that top piece. Maybe a bit in there. So always do a little area, come off the miniature, go back in. So you just want to stay building up just inside the areas you've already highlighted. If you put too much white on, go back in, get some more medium on your brush, work it around. You're not going to go too far wrong, as long as you're keeping it nice and thin and letting it build up layer by layer. We're somewhere between layering and glazing at the moment. Looking around the horse, make sure it's all, I'm happy with where it's looking. I'm going to pick up some of this on our rubbishy brush. I'm going to do our overbrush on the tail. But now we're just picking out the very highest points, so like the top bits of that tail, and then a little bit at the side. Again, a little bit across the top there. So that's brain matte beige. Now you can leave it there, or if you want to go real crazy, we're going to go for a matte white. Using the matte white at this point, you have to be really careful. You've done all that nice work of laying that up. If you put too much of this on, you're knocking yourself back a couple of stages, which you can fix. At any point, if it's not right, if you get your mid-tone, which is one of those worn grey look, if you water it right down into a wash and then just put a soft wash over the top, you can then build back up again from that point. But we're looking good. So we're going to add some medium to that. Wash our brush out. And we're just going to, these little areas we've already done, we're just going to go a little tiny bit inside them. We're just going to use the tip of our brush to touch down. And as soon as you start seeing it, it's pretty much time to stop in that area. Medium going into the white. And as you put white on as well, because it's very bright, it will look really bright when it's wet, and just it will calm down a little bit as it dries. But be sparing with the pure white, guys. I'm just painting little lines of it inside the beige that we've already got on there. If I was doing a grey dappley effect, I'd have stopped a little while ago and then put the dapple on. But we're looking to do a white horse, so I've done a video on the channel on how to paint horses, just as a reference for myself, to be honest, because you kind of get out of practice at them. You've not done them for a while. It's good to nail. I was just trying to nail down. So I've literally did a little tiny overbrush, but I just tap in certain areas. Right, there we go. That's your horse skin done. Let's see if we can shade him from some light. There you go, so you can see some of the blends. You're not really going to see it. Oh, there we go. I put my arm against the light. I am a diffuser. You're not getting the full effect of it, but you can see roughly what I've done. Okay. Next we're going to start on those lovely reins and stuff. We're going to do them red, so we're going to start with Basilisk Red, which is like a purple, really. We're an hour. We did spend a long time doing a horse, though. Cheers, mate. So now, of course, you want to be really careful. if you're unsure, one cheat mode you can use is let it dry off for a bit and lacquer the white, because then if you get some of this on it, you can literally wash it off. But we live for danger here at Fire Rich Paints. Again, I'm just adding a bit of medium to this purple. Sorry, reddy purple. Yeah, so those of you on Facebook, hopefully you've followed the Pirate Rich Paints Facebook page. And hopefully you've seen that there's a Crow's Nest Facebook group. So hopefully you've joined that too. If not, feel free to share it about and invite your friends. So the Crow's Nest is our paint studio, but we've got some nice gaming tables up here as well. And of course, anything you buy on our website, you can pick up while you're here. Or just come in for a chat and a coffee. Or come and see how white this horse is. You'll be really careful when you layer out white like that, because it kind of goes porous as well. So if you touch any of that red on it, it's just going to suck it straight in. could always paint the red first, I suppose. But you're going to struggle if you get messy. You'll struggle to cover the red up with the white. So just be neat. Hmm. Good medium. I just like to keep it nice and flowing. The medium helps it flow off your brush nice. Don't put too much on there though, make it flood. If you ever feel you've got too much moisture in the brush, stop. Don't put it on your miniature because all that will go on and you have a bad time. Yeah. Just using the tip of the brush now. There we go. Just working around it. That's our base layer, isn't it? Think about doing the saddle the same colour as well. You see how, because we've got a nice, oh, see, I've just tapped on his leg there. Wash your brush out, leave it wet, go in and wash it off straight away. You're not covering up that red with white and saving yourself that way. But you don't want to be scrubbing at that white with a wet brush either, because you'll lift layers of the white that we worked so hard on. Ben, we waited for you as long as we could. We're glad you're here now then. Yeah, we're painting this guy tonight. He's the Earl of Dover. We named him Ben. Shoveling snow. Oh my god. And what miniature did you buy her for a 40th? Sorry, darling, we're upstairs. We're completely snowed in. Ah, good work. Clear a bit of purple that overshot there a little bit. Yeah, it's the way it's done. It'd be worth it, mate. Oh, pardon me. I'm going to try and get the brush to do a comparison video. I'm going to do it on Pirate Plays, I think. I've not been on there for a while. What if I do a part 1 and then do a follow-up the week after, see how it's bearing up after a week or something? So I'm being very fussy about the paint overflows because we spent so much time on that white. Very, very precious of it. Mm-hmm. See, I thought about this miniature a lot because obviously it's a warlord. So want it to look good. And I thought, well, there's a lot of metal, so you're quite limited to what you can do with that. So I thought, let's take a bit more time over the horse than we generally do. Because we can. Okay, next we're going to go for Imperial Navy. What we go for blue survey. We've just basically keeping that thin as well. Sort of lovely medium in that. Yeah. Is that a black armor with the gilding on? Yeah, so just keep that medium going. Yeah, nice and thin. I just find just bop another layer over the top of that. Yeah, I'll do stirrups in red as well. Just keep that medium going. I know I keep on about it, but it is really important. go. Did everyone get to see the Hoptman from last week? He's at the back of the desk there. I thought we'd show him off if you're not. Going for Brigandine Brown. So I'm going to do this and strapping over it. I would usually have done that a different colour, but we're going to have red and blue everywhere, so I figured I would make this look leather. Too much moisture in my brush, get rid of some. You can tell when it's starting to get hard to control the brush. Just in the end, if you keep going, it's just going to splurge all over your miniature, and you don't want that. So is anyone painting anything tonight? Ben's still thawing himself out, I should imagine. Laying there thinking, I'm going to eat pig tomorrow. The pig will be mine. I'm going to use this brown for his hair as well. Just going to thin it out a little bit more. Nice. There we go. I'm thinking about doing his scabbard red as well. you. Stretch my bum. Okay, next we're going to grab Greed Gold. So actually, really, I was going to get the hooked one from last week, wasn't I? There we go. That's how that turned out. The verdigris. Pretty good, if I do say so myself. So, I'm going to get Crappy Brush 2, which isn't quite as bad as Crappy Brush 1. And I'm just going to I was quite pleased with the verdigris, because it was like, you're never quite sure how that's going to turn out until it's dry, you know? I was hoping to use them for Trench Crusade, so I started reading the rules and work out, because there's a few more that go with them that Griffin Beast do, and I thought I could make a whole squad of them. I'm still kind of reading the books, as it were. Took a while to kick in tonight, didn't it? Start fancying his armour a bit. this on, and of course just whatever you do, I would suggest keep it symmetrical because it kind of looks better. Then people don't say you missed a bit. People that tell you you've missed a bit do run the risk of a punch in the nose. Let's just remind them of that. So you can remind me of that. But a punch in the face often offends. I don't think the base is completely dry. I was resting my finger on it, I can feel it slowly sliding. Hmm. So what I'm doing around the neck piece there is I'm kind of doing edge highlighting with it by using the tip. I'm utilising the fact that this has got a curvy bent tip on it. It's a bit fish-eyed. If you can see that on there. How curly whirly that is. So I'm kind of using the fact that I know it's like that. So I can throw an edge highlight by doing that, which is kind of cool. You see, I'll do it on the gloves so I can. I'm using the tip of the knackered brush to edge highlight. I explained something earlier. It doesn't matter if your brush hasn't got a point on it sometimes. As long as you know which way it's bent, you can use it to do stuff. Yeah. So now we'll go back to our reds for a minute. We're going to jump to dragon red because it's a small area. Yeah. We're using that purple as a bit of a base colour, so we just missed one step out. Add some medium to it. This is what we do. And then we're going to go hit the top edge. We're not looking to get close to the white now. It'll leave the shadow anyway. So looking for that top edge in red. And then as we come down into these triangles, we're going to start quite heavily at the top. At least in the purple showing. Yeah. I'm going to put some more red up. Now across the top of the saddle, we want it nice and red there. And as we go down, the top's going to be very red. Because we've watered it down, when it dries, that purple will blend in nice. But we're not going to go right up against his leg. Working in the top edges, we can see this is that dragon. Is it dragon scale red or just dragon red? For the cinch strap underneath, isn't it? Bit across the top. So we're looking for that top edge. not going past it too close to the white. Up here we're looking for that top edge completely red, the bottom edge leave a little bit purple. But because the red's thinned anyway, as it dries, that purple will show through a little bit and give us some good old natural shading. As we come across the top of these stripes, we're looking to hit the top edge. So those edges that go up against those bits of gold, we're kind of leaving. So we've got my son's starting to come up and help out a bit up here at the nest. So we're going to be doing some different vids, which is kind of cool. We're just talking over at the moment what way we're going to go with it all. There's some interesting ideas coming about, which is good. I'll keep you guys posted. Hopefully his video the editing skills are going to be put to good use, so we can do some more some short videos. So we won't be doing the live ones all the time. The suggestion at the moment is to go to every 2 weeks with the live one, then use the time in between to make an edited one or something like that, or a battle report or something like that. But early days yet. One of the first ones we discussed about doing is he's new to painting. He tried when he was very young and he wasn't really interested, but he's kind of come round to it now. So he's we're going to do a series of videos right from building the miniatures all the way through. So we're going to be using probably the 4-point of Viking starter. okay it with the Beastie Boys first. So we do some videos of how to put the stuff together. We're going to go right for it. Undercoating, basing, painting them, and take them from box to battle mat, basically. That's what we want to do. That'd be interesting. But we're going to try and edit them so they're little short chunks. Next one is pure red. I'm going to highlight it out with this. Get our medium going. Now I can just that top edge. I'm just going to come down the back edge of these triangles. Front edge. And we'll put this last highlight on. Less is more, so hit a little area, move away, hit a little area, move away. So it's down the top edge, hit that front edge. This one we're just looking to put little there we go, just hitting those edges. That's all red done. So next is we grab the flesh shade. Some like white and flesh or something like that. I'm just gonna stack it on these bits of gold. As brave as you can without it running all over the show. You're not going to get it on the gilded bit, but you'll get it on some of the details that we've done. horse furniture. Horse furniture, is that the right word? Be careful because it will run out onto that white if you're not careful. Next, we shall put the blue. We're going to go regal blue. Medium. Again, looking to highlight out, so it's those top edges, send away from the edge of the metal there. There's a few creases on there. Brush was getting just a little bit tastily wet, so just backed off for a second. Bit of blue on the red there, take it out. Blue highlight at the bottom. Stay away from the edges. There we go. And then we do the highlight as well, which is royal blue. Because we're working quite thin, and we can just get it over there. Then we're going to come down the edges there. Leave that dark area in the crease. There we go. We'll put the front little dot in there. A bit of a dot in there. Nice. Just work around anywhere you want it to look a little bit stronger and lighter. There we go. Do that blue for a minute. Next, we will deal with his face. So we're going to go back to agate skin. We started with moonstone, then we washed it. We're going to jump into a highlight. This has got a nice point on it, this brush. We should be okay. We can swap to the detail brushes. And we go down the nose, across the eyebrows, high cheekbone, top of his ear, lips, there we go. I'll just hit them all again. Just dot that on to just give it a bit more strength. Now we're going to highlight them completely with bubbly bearing flesh. But this time I'm going to swap to my insane detail brush because I like it. That's good enough. Bit of medium in there. Then we run this straight down the centre of the nose, on the eyebrows, top of cheekbone, ears. I saw the edge of these got quite big ears. And just a bit on his lips. There we go. And that will do it. So that's good. We're getting there now. So now we get the psycho. The lid's fallen off of it. And there's the matte white is dried out a little bit, so let's put a little bit of fresh out. It dried out on the wet palette because I didn't put very much out. Okay, so a bit of medium into the matte white. Make sure not too much on there. Front rank means you've always got good eyes. He's even got teeth. Let's paint his teeth. Okay. Next is black. A drop of black. There we go. And get rid of that. That's our insane detail. We're going to swap back to insane detail to do the horse's eyes with black. I'd usually do it with an ordinary brush, but where we're mucking around with a white horse, from that little bit more control. I believe do white horses still have black hooves? I thought all horses have black hooves. What do you think, guys? I usually do them black, in fairness. They might be dark brown, but by the time they've been muddied up and stuff. Let's grab a shilling silver first. And that's a nice brush. Let's get our pants brush Take a bit of the shinning silver, and then fill the brush up, and then unload the brush, and then very lightly over brush in areas you want to be shiny. So that middle section there. Because we did made that armor nearly black. So notice I've not filled the brush up, so be careful when you're first on there, and as you go along, your overbrush can turn into a dry brush. When it comes to that, you fill up again. Yeah, I thought about this the other week, Coops, because I made the bold statement, I think, on that video that all horses' hooves are black. But what I meant to say was, I think they look better back painted. Because you're right, it's I think very pale horses have very, very pale feet, don't they? Technically. But I will bow to your great knowledge there. I'm just gonna work around making the armor glint a little bit here and there. Remember, I'm going to put a matte medium, a matte lacquer over this anyway. So as Kenny Boucher would say, paint it to 11 and take it back to 10. See, I've done the middle of the sword. Just put a bit more edge on that. And we're going to grab a bright gold. You need a little bit of this. Because we really got that belt to do on the pauldrons. So yeah, make sure the brush is dry this time. Load it, unload it. And gently just tap any of the gold that you want to have a little bit of shine to. Did you? That reminds me of I watched an Aussie Osborne interview, and they were asking him about drugs, and apparently he stopped doing acid when he had a 2-hour chat with a horse. I just get this picture of Ozzy stood there next to a field having this full-on chat with a horse. It's awesome. Let's paint his hoofies black. Let's see if we like them. And if we don't, we can try for a grey. I like black hues on That's how I painted the base brown as well. He's about there. Yeah, the base is dry enough to paint on. So let's do that. It's dried off as we've been painting. So this is why we use neutral pumice. So I have this thin brown. And since I just throw a bit more medium in it as well as we go along. To make sure it soaks. Kind of soaks into the pumice that I've got on there. And what happens is it doesn't quite cover, which is what we want it to do. I want it just to let the pumice show through. As that dries, you know what effect we get, guys? We get this nice effect. Without doing any extra blending or dry brushing or anything like that. So there we have it, our Age of Chivalry mounted warlord. It's mounted warlord H. I'll just splash some of that up his feet. Let's wash it off. It wasn't a nice sort of looking sort of all that looks like mud. It kind of almost looked like a blood splash, but brown mud. So be careful when you're painting the base in. There we go. I was going to paint a coat of arms on him, but I think I want to leave him quite neutral. Might change my mind yet in the morning, but I think the fact that he's got red and white and blue, there's a lot going on there. I'll just paint the black around the edge because I do. Some don't you know? I think it makes it look finished. Yeah. I think so, Cubes. He's got a lot of gold going on there and what have you. Sometimes you think it's just not going to make a difference. There's so much going on there already. I mean, this guy, he's got a white charger. He's off into battle. He's going to kick someone's ass. That horse is going to kick someone's ass. Yeah, I'll get a better picture of it tomorrow or Sunday. Because that is really blowing under this light. There we go, 2 hours, 17 minutes. I'm happy with that. You happy with that? He's a corker, isn't he? Right. Okay, guys, it's that endy bit of the video. Cheers, Rich. Is the code in case anyone wants to grab one off of the Beastie Boys. I think I've got another one in stock as well. Woohoo! Yes, visit the Crow's Nest. That's if you're not snowed in a different country and having a pig roast arrive tomorrow. That's an excusable reason for not coming to the Crow's Nest. Right, guys, don't forget CHV01H. Show the Beastie Boys some love, like they do. And this is the aforementioned paintbrush that I'll be trying out in the video on Pirate Rich Plays. Look at that posh box. Just for that one brush. Oh, sexy. And there's a bonus. There was a bonus I bought with that one as well, but I'll show that in the other video. Yeah, check out Pirate Rich Plays. That would be, hopefully, if you subscribe to that one as well, hit the notification and all that doodery-doo-dah. And then you'll be able to see that when I do it. If you've not hit the subscribe button, because as people keep pointing out to me, I get all these views afterwards, and a lot of people that view this, not the live guys, the guys that watch it back the following day, there's a lot of you that haven't subscribed. It costs you nothing to subscribe and hit the notification bell on that doodahs, and it helps me out a lot. So if you could do that, that's brilliant. Okay, guys, I will let you crack on with your weekend, because that's 2 hours 20 minutes now, which is a long time to be spending with me. Yes. Yeah, cheers, guys. I'll let you go and have oodles of fun, and see you at the Crow's Nest at some time. Bye now.